Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathy if you guys are new here. Today is going to be a quick little Q&A. You guys submitted some questions on Instagram and I'm excited to dive in. This is a cozy little Q&A, so get your tea, get your coffee, put on a robe. Go ahead and get started. I just screenshotted a bunch of your questions and I'm just gonna go in the order that they are. I'm gonna actually put them on the screen so you guys can see who submitted and what questions we're going into. First question, I love this question. What are you proud of that others or yourself often overlook? If you watched my video where I talked about why I became a teacher, then you would know the hardships and the struggles that I put myself through and the challenges that came along with me becoming a teacher and finding my career path. It was definitely difficult, and a lot of it was me not believing in myself, me not knowing what to do, and just not having the guidance that I needed in that time. It took a lot of motivation and courage to pursue like going to college. I didn't even want to go to college. I didn't do well in college. And so to me, something that I'm really proud of is that I graduated college and I'm a teacher. I do not take my job lightly. I don't take it for granted any day. I am very proud of myself for just making it through college, and I'm just proud that I made it through all of my hardships, because if I didn't do that and if I didn't go through those challenges, I would not be here. My parents didn't have higher education. It just wasn't on their forefront. They wanted me to go to college, but I just didn't have the resources. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't motivated, and I just was lost for a very long time, and I would never go back to school again. I was in school for a very long time because, like I said, it was very challenging for me. So I stayed in school 7+ years when I should have been done in 4 years. I don't want to go back to school again. Like, I would love to have a master's, but I feel like I put myself through too much school already. What are you looking forward to the most? I'm looking forward to moving into our new house because I feel like that's kind of been lingering. But in the future, I'm looking forward to just seeing where we end up. Right now, we're a Navy family. So right now we're in San Diego, but that could mean in a few years, we could be living in a different country. We could be living still here, and just seeing my girls grow together. That's one thing that I'm really looking forward to, seeing my girls grow and play, seeing their personalities shine. It's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited for them to like be close in age and play together. When are you going back to teach? So I'm going back to teaching May 10th, which is a week earlier than I thought. I thought I was gonna go back May 17th, but I'm going back May 10th. Very excited. That means I have about a month left of school, and so I get to finish the year strong with my kids. Any tips, advice to get through the newborn phase? Communicate with your partner what you need, what you want. Try to get your rhythm down. Try to make a routine. Nothing strict, but try to get into a routine of like, when do you guys plan to wake up each morning? Whenever I had Indy, I didn't have that plan. I would just sleep in until I felt rested enough. I feel like after 1 week of having a newborn, you learn so much, which is crazy because it's just been a week. Everything that you do is like clockwork. Every 2 to 3 hours, feed, diaper change, play. I would say get the baby tracker app. This is the app that we use. It's called Baby Tracker, and we track feeds and sleep. It tells me the next time that Ollie needs to eat. It also tells me how much sleep she's getting during the day, things like that. So that's been helpful for us. Is it hard balancing being a teacher and a mom/wife? Yes. Now that I think about it and I really truly deeply think about balancing those three things, it is hard. It's mentally hard, not physically hard, if that makes sense. It's a resentment that I feel. As a mom, you're always thinking about what needs to come next, feeds, what the girls need, just like the small little things add up. It's a lot to balance whenever you're also thinking about, okay, how can I be a good wife and not grumpy when I've been taking care of my newborn, and also try to be open with my husband after he's come home from work. I have a little bit of resentment for my husband who just gets to go to work. He doesn't have to worry about the morning schedule of getting Indy ready, getting Ollie ready, feedings, and getting them in the car and making sure that they get to where they need to go, all that stuff. I feel like there's just a lot on like the mom's plate always, and there's always ways to balance it out, but because right now Brandon is a resident, we do have 2 kids, 2 under 2, it is hard mentally just to stay in a good mood. And like sometimes when Brandon gets home, I'm just like, oh my gosh, finally, like, can you take care of them? I've been dealing with a crying baby all day or whatever it is. It's just mentally exhausting. So I think that's why I like being a working mom. And I know that's not the case for everyone. For me, being a working mom is rewarding because I get to have a little bit of everything and not feel like I'm putting all of my energy into one thing. I just feel more balanced as a working mom, if that makes sense. Comment down below if you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're a working mom. I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear your experiences. If you were not a teacher, what would you see yourself doing? I tried thinking about this question. I literally don't even know. I used to want to be a counselor, so that was the one option that I had a long time ago. I used to want to be an art teacher. That still kind of lingers in my mind. Like, I don't think I would want to be one right now, but I think that would be an option. I think art is so fun and so expressive. If I could choose anything, it would probably, like, out of my range and everything, it would probably be a marine biologist. I feel like it'd be so cool to go underwater, study underwater life. I think that'd be very interesting and a very cool job. Are you going back to teaching after your maternity leave? Yes, I am. Like I said earlier, I'm going back May 10th. A lot of people asked me if I will continue teaching, and for right now, I don't see myself quitting. I am happy with my position. I love teaching 5th grade. I love teaching at my school. Obviously, this will be my first time back, you know, with 2 kids and going back to work, so I don't know what it's gonna be like. What's nice is I'll just be working for a month so I can kind of get a feel for what that's like, and then it'll be summer break, and then the girls will be a little bit older once school starts back up again. A lot of moms like feel overwhelmed and they feel guilt, so we'll just see how things go. How did you discover your niche? I don't know. Whenever I became a teacher, I knew a lot of people had teacher Instagrams, I think. So my best friend Madison Campbell here on YouTube as well and Instagram, she asked me first, like, are you gonna start a teachergram? And I was like, I don't know if I want to do all that. She had an Instagram like dedicated to teaching and stuff. She asked me and I just wasn't sure of it. I was a student teacher at the time, but I decided to start one. I thought it would be cool to just document my journey. I had to delete some footage because my camera was getting full. But so I started my Instagram basically right after my student teaching ended, and like I said, COVID kind of ended my student teaching early. So I kind of wanted to just to document my journey from there, and that's what I did. And now I'm more of a lifestyle blogger, I'd say, but I do sprinkle in like the teaching content stuff too. So yeah, I just kind of share whatever I want. To me, I post things that I really enjoy and that I really like and that I think would be helpful to other people. And I think sometimes people take Instagram way too seriously. What's your biggest excitement and biggest hesitation about going back to teaching? My biggest excitement is getting back into a routine, bonding with my kids again. I miss just socializing on a daily basis. Every day you're at home, you just don't have that interaction, and I really do miss routine. I miss social interaction and getting dressed every day, getting ready. Like, I love that aspect of going to a job. And then my biggest hesitation is getting back and not feeling ready, and I don't feel like I know what's going on really. I don't feel like I know much about what my students are doing, about the curriculum that they're on. Like, I feel like I'm just gonna be thrown in. At the time, my students will be state testing still, and it's towards the end of the year anyway, so it's not like I need to be like pushing things out. So I'm hesitating on just feeling like I won't be ready to get back in and just be back on my feet right away, and that kind of worries me. But I think that's also normal, and it's okay to feel anxious the first week or even couple of weeks going back in. I just need to give myself grace and just say like, hey, I've been out for 3 months. It's okay that I don't know everything yet. I remember last time when I went back with Indy, I was like, am I gonna remember my kids' names? Do you want more kids? Maybe. I've always said that I want 3 kids, but after having 2 right now, I feel good, you know? Like, 2 is good. That's enough. I think once the girls get older, like once Ollie and Indy are more of on like the same routine, like same sleep schedule, and they can play with each other, it will be less demanding on me, and I'll actually want to think about having kids. But right now I'm just like, I don't care to have a 3rd kid right now. Would you ever want to teach/coach students who are wanting to become teachers? Hello, Marissa, I miss you. And yeah, we had student teaching together, so she asked me this question. I don't think I would ever want to teach/coach students because I don't know, I don't feel like I have like the knowledge yet to do that. I like giving my advice from my own experience, but I don't think I would be a great teacher to students. Whenever I was a 4th grade teacher, I had student teachers that came, and I liked that aspect where they got to watch me. I got to provide some advice. How are you handling newborn and toddler transition? Due soon and have a 16-month-old. Congratulations, and wow, we are very similar in that boat. That's so fun. Not gonna lie, the 0 to 1 transition was way harder for me than the 1 to 2 transition. I don't know if it's because I feel more experienced. The 0 to 1 was just a lot for me. I think the pressure that I put on myself, I wanted to be like the best mom. As I was feeding overnight, I'd be reading like sleep things. I'd be reading, why is my baby fussy? Why can't I burp my baby? Like all these different things like crowded my head. And it just put a lot of pressure on like me just wanting to make everything right. Like I didn't want to leave the house. I had anxiety over when she would cry. And Brandon was also really busy. He didn't have any leave. He was off for 1 week. And so it was a lot of me doing a lot of things by myself, and I just felt overwhelmed. So I think the second transition was better because 1, Brandon was off for 4 weeks, which is very nice. 2, I felt like I just knew what I was doing. I had more of a plan. You might find that the transition is a little bit easier for you because you've done it before. The one thing that has really helped, I think, is just making sure that I really spend that quality time one-on-one with Indy. As long as you include them in the daily things like, hey, can you help me with a diaper change? They really want to help, and so it makes them feel more included and important in the process that could be just very demanding on them. How are you adjusting to a life as a mom of 2 and still being in the process of moving? Thank you for asking. I'm doing really well. There are definitely days where I'm just really frustrated, and I think that's just normal. Like I get frustrated because it's been a long day, or I get frustrated because I feel like I'm maybe not getting enough help, or I'm getting frustrated because I'm not getting out of the house. It's just something. Like there's always something to be frustrated about. I think during this period in the house hunting process was very stressful, but in the end, those small things that are frustrating or stressful, I feel like they go away with time. It's something that will eventually pass, and I know that I am very lucky and very grateful for everything that I have. And at the end of the day, I try to look for that even if I'm in a bad mood. How is going back to work as a teacher in the US? In Australia, we get 12 months off. So long story short, in the US, usually you get 12 weeks with FMLA, and some people get less. It all depends kind of on your financial situation. It depends on your recovery, but for the most part, you get 12 weeks max with your baby, so that's 3 months. And then any sick days, personal days go towards the 12 weeks, and those sick days and personal days are paid. But if you don't have any sick days or personal days, then you are getting possibly 12 weeks unpaid unless your district or your school is paying for a certain amount. With my school, I got 3 weeks paid even though I'm not a second-year teacher, and I didn't have really any personal or sick days. I had maybe 36 hours worth that I had saved up, and that's all I got paid. But for the most part, like last year, I think I only got a week's worth of pay. It's not substantial. The maternity leave in the US really sucks. It's not ideal, but you take what you get, and I think that's why a lot of people leave their careers, because they want to stay home and they realize that, you know, maybe they save more money staying at home than working. Are you and Miss Campbell still friends? Yes, we are. We obviously live in different states now, but we still stay connected. I'm actually going to her bachelorette party very soon. I'm very excited for that. Madison, if you're watching, I'm so excited for your wedding. I'm so excited for the bachelorette party. How did you pick Indy and Ollie's names? What other names did you consider? We had a list going, and with Indy and Ollie, I think I heard those names like a few times, like just here and there. I know there's indie music, and I love indie type of music, and I always thought Indy was such a cute, like, mutual name. Yeah, I've always loved it, and I brought it up to Brandon. He didn't like it at first, but he ended up just growing to like it. Some other names that we considered were Daisy, thought about Penelope, but I don't know. Those were just names that were kind of cute, but then we'd be like, I don't know. How do you like San Diego? Would you settle with your family here? I love San Diego. I've grown to like it a lot more. I feel like in the beginning, I didn't really know what to do here. I knew there was a lot of things to do. I knew it was a beautiful place, but I've grown to love it even more. I feel like the weather is beautiful. The people are really nice, and it's small enough where it feels like you're just in a smaller area and not a huge city. Like, I don't think I could ever live in LA or a big city. I'm just not a city person, but I love that there's enough to do. There's enough hikes and outdoor things to go on without feeling overwhelmed. The traffic isn't crazy like it would be in LA. Traffic is my worst enemy. I could never. Salma asked, oh, why are you so perfect? Also, she's a freaking goddess. Look at her. She's beautiful. Funny story, I met her on Instagram. We ended up getting a job at the same school, and now we're really good friends. Like, we always hang out. So I think it's really cool that we connected on Instagram, and now we're like real life friends. Last question I'll end off with is, you handle being a working mom amazingly. How do you do it? And I talked to my friend Salma about this last time actually, and I think it's whatever you prioritize. Like for me, I prioritize working. I like working because I'm passionate about teaching. I love working with kids. I love the routine. I love creativity you get as a teacher. And then I also love being a mom because I get to take my teaching skills and kind of apply it to a mom with that more of a nurturing, caring, loving aspect to it. Even when I go to work, and even if I go to the gym after school, the time that I have with my girls is one-on-one time. It's quality time. A working mom means you go to work and then you leave work at work. You don't take anything home unless you absolutely have to. You get home and then you spend your time with your babies. I don't make my days these huge extravagant things because I want to have enough energy to come home to my kids and spend time with them. And then after work, I choose to work on my health. So I will spend 45 minutes at the gym. I know that if I have that 45 minutes to work on myself, let out those endorphins, I know that I'm going to be a better mom, a better wife, a better teacher, because I know that I'm feeling good. I'm doing something for myself, and that's really what matters. And I think that's the balance of it all, is like you choose what you think is going to be best for you and your family. There's some things that I'm not doing that a lot of moms are doing, but there's some things that those moms, you know, are choosing to give up, just like I am choosing to give up. You know yourself best, you know your kids best, and what your family needs. That's the Q&A. I hope this was helpful and entertaining. I hope it was cozy. I never remember to drink my coffee as I talk. I just can't multitask in that way. But I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. Thank you so much for submitting questions. If you ever have any more questions, please leave them down below. I love interacting with you guys. Remember to follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I will see you guys all in my next vlog, which is a week in my life vlog. It's gonna be really fun. So don't forget to watch that, like this video, and subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos. I love you guys, and I'll see you all next time.